Peace, what's going on? Um, Wanted to kind of talk about insurance a little bit because I know everybody, pretty much everybody has insurance and everybody is required to have insurance. But I'm kind of wondering how many people actually understand what it is and how it works, because that's the important part. So typically, when you go down to the agent or you call the agent and you get insured, it goes over a couple things: your deductible, collision, medical. What does it cover? How much is the legal required amount for you to actually have on your policy? Goes about a lot of those things. Ask you about the safety features on your vehicle. Is there multi-policies? Are you married? How many drivers are in the house? All that good stuff, right? And that's not even any of the important stuff. One of the things that are important that I want you to think back and remember is that when you're insuring a vehicle, like when you're purchasing a vehicle, or when you've already purchased one and you're transferring insurance, they always ask that you name them as the interested party on the insurance policy. And meaning, and you rightfully believe so because you've been misled to think that you owe this lien holder money. So they're saying in the event that there's an accident, the car is completely totaled, that we will get the sum of money. We will get the check from the insurance policy. We'll make the claim. So that's what you do under false pretenses, and not having all the information, so you're being misled. So basically, on a few of my policies, I've actually named myself as the interested party on the insurance policy, which would be correct because we are putting up and pledging the security interest in our note. The note that we pledge to them, they assign to somebody else without recourse. And then they actually, whenever something is assigned, you have to understand, of course, that word, but I want to try to teach you the right way. Peace. When you hear the word assign, it means sale, sold. So that they use a fancy word, kind of throw you off. You're like, all right, cool. Yeah, it was assigned to Capital One, and now they're the lien holder, and I owe them the money. So I want you to be able to place the right word there. When you hear assign, it means it was sold. Do I have proof of this? Yes. Only time you actually get proof of this is when you litigate, and this is something that I do. Certain things come into play, certain things that they have to file into the court, certain things you can request through discovery, and you will get all this. And I've done this numerous times before, and this is the first time I've actually seen it. I don't know if it was a slip up or what, but the attorney for the bank actually said in his, I guess his opening statement or procedural statement, that Bank of America purchased the note from the dealership. And I was blown away. I was like, wait a minute, did he really mean to put that in there? Because at no point whatsoever while he was pursuing the money from me on behalf of Bank of America, so they say, he never said that they gave me money. And he can't do that because it'd be fraud. So he didn't say that I owe them money and they gave me money at no point whatsoever. He just said that I purchased a vehicle and Bank of America was the assignee on the contract. That was it. That's not saying enough. How do I owe? So if you bought the contract from the car dealership, nothing was disclosed. Like, all right, well, how much was it purchased for? How much was it, sold for? Was I entitled to any of that? Was that supposed to offset and discharge or extinguish the debt owed to the car dealership? So these are some of the things I want you to understand. So when you hear a sign or you see a sign, put sale in its place, SALE, because it was a sale. And that's how they raised the money to pay off the vehicle. When they sold the note, they got the money to pay back the debt that they owed, because the vehicles that they get on their lot, they didn't pay any money for them. They use credit. And those vehicles sit on the lot until they're sold. And then they pay whatever the manufacturer's cost was, which is not what you're paying on that contract. Whatever you see on that contract, whatever you pay for the vehicle, 20,000, 30, 50, 60, 75, whatever, that's not what they owed. That was the markup. So they got paid, they got their cut. They paid the salesman, he got his commission of $3 grand, $5 grand, whatever the vehicle. If you purchase a luxury vehicle, it's going to be a lot higher. And then they pay back a portion. Well, not every time they sell a car, because you got to realize, you see them big trucks that come in and they unload like, I don't know, I'm just going to guess how many vehicles are on that big truck, but I don't know, 10, 15, 20, something like that. So every time they sell a car, they don't go run the money back to the manufacturer. No, when they have a certain date that their account is due, and at that time, however many cars they sold, they will pay the lump sum of the vehicles that were sold. So the reason why you before you leave off that car lot, you have to have proof of insurance, and they make you give them the policy number, and they also make sure that you list them as the interested party, as I spoke again. So again, we're going to replace another word, because interested party should basically be beneficiary. And hopefully, I hope you know what beneficiary is. Beneficiary is somebody who's going to receive the benefit of something, which is typically a trust. When you hear that word, and that's probably why they're changing out words, because if they were to say beneficiary, you would think trust, because trusts have beneficiaries. So whenever you hear interested party, make sure you understand that that's the beneficiary, and that the beneficiary receives the res or the money or the value that is in the trust. So the trust will be collapsed if you ever total the vehicle. If you totaled out the vehicle, you would collapse the trust, and the beneficiary would be paid out the full amount of the trust. So I'm giving you a couple of different things, and I'm going to give you some more too. So even with your home, when you buy a home, it's just like purchasing a car. It's mandatory that you get insurance on that purchase, under the guise that I owe these people and I better protect my back, because then I'll have to come out of pocket if I don't have insurance. So when you give insurance, again, you name them as the interested party. So from what I just said, when you hear interested party, what did the broker become on that home purchase? What did he become? What's the word? Go ahead and drop it in the comments. So basically what happens is that because there's insurance on the vehicle, on the home, the person who you are paying the note to, who is supposed to be the servicer, can never take a loss. The lien holder can never take a loss, because they're insured. You're insured, and you're thinking you're insuring the property, and the property is never the home or the car. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, Sharon. I just want to make sure I'm teaching and people are learning. The property is never the car or the home. So I want to say that again. I'm going to drill that home. Make sure that I get in your head. It's never. I'm going to tell you what the property actually is, and this is so tricky, and that they never told you that, because they retained possession of the property. And I'm going to break it down. I want to go slow. I want to make sure people are getting this. The property is, when you purchased a car, you left out of there with a carbon copy. They gave you the middle, tore it out and handed you the middle. There's 3 copies to that. It's in triplicate. The top copy is dealer copy, and the copy behind yours is the lien holder's copy. Yep, the note. It's going to be called a note. The retail installment agreement that you sign, some places call them different things, but I think for the most part, that's what it's called. You're going to sign 2 things at a car dealership, other than if you've got gap insurance or any other extended warranties, you're going to sign those too. But the major things that you're going to sign, those long forms, is either going to call a buyer's order or a purchaser's order. And when you hear order, When you go to the post office to pay your rent, what do you buy? Let you marinate on that until somebody hits that in. Go ahead and type that on the comment. When you have a buyer's order or a purchaser's order, when you're purchasing a vehicle. Now, I want you to fill the holes in, so I want you to see where I'm going. When you go to a post office, and it's the first of the month, you're going to pay the rent, you buy a what order? What do you buy? Because this is a great way to teach. I want to make sure that you get it. It's crazy because you get a bill of sale as well. Exactly, the purchaser's order, the purchase order or the buyer's order is the bill of sale. All right, thanks for filling that in. All right, so basically when you hear order, so you're hearing money order, and you know that pays somebody. That pays somebody, right? So if you have a buyer's order or a purchase order, and as Sharon just said, it's the bill of sale. Back in the day, before the dealership started processing all our paperwork for our cars and taking it over DMV and getting the registration and all that stuff for you and your tags, we used to do it. And you could drive that car home, possibly back then without any plates. I mean, don't quote me, and I think so. But all you had to do if you got pulled over to show that you didn't steal this car was the bill of sale, which is also what I just said is called a purchaser's order or a buyer's order. That's your proof of ownership in the car. And that's why, again, I'm speaking from experience. I've sued many car leaners. You will never hear them discuss that buyer's order or purchase order. You will never hear them. The only thing they talk about is the retail installment agreement, which is where you agree to make certain amount of payments for a certain period of months or years on that car note. And that's where they're saying you breached contract because you missed this payment, this payment, or you stopped making payments on this time, which is usually 90 days. And then they'll look to repossess the vehicle. But repossession is a crazy word because, again, you're thinking about the car getting repossessed or the house getting foreclosed. It's never that. Look up a repurchase agreement. Look up repurchase agreement. If you want, share it in the comments so people can follow along when they watch the video and they'll look in the comments and see the information. Look up and for short, it's called a repo. What is it? A repo order? A repo agreement? It's short, repo. It's for repossession or repurchase. So again, I'm going to tell you, what is the property? The property is the thing that the bank or the dealership retains, or the broker. What do they keep with them? I just said for the car, it's those long notes. So you have the buyer's order and you have the retail installment agreement. The retail installment agreement, I mean, they keep both. That buyer's order is another way. They sell that, securitize that, and get paid again. But the retail installment agreement, another word for it is a note. That is what they retain. And a lot of people don't notice because most times either we don't fully pay off a vehicle, we may get the vehicle repossessed, or we trade it in. So what you don't realize is that when you pay off the vehicle, you're supposed to get the note back. The retail installment agreement, you're supposed to get it back. And that's the collateral. People are talking about all this collateral. The collateral is the vehicle. The collateral is the house. No, you're wrong. And in some words, when you're reading, I don't know if it's on the contract, but I know when you're reading certain, definitions on the UCC, it talks about the property. The property is not the house. It is not the car. It's none of that. It is the collateral that you give them. You actually leave them with collateral, and you leave out with your copy of it. But they have the original with your actual signature on top of it, with the real ink on it. That is the property that they're holding for collateral. So when they foreclose on it, or when they default and they want to come and repo the collateral, they already have possession of it. And it says it's a security agreement which secures them in case of, protects them from any losses. That's because they can sell it, but they've already sold it and they've got money, but they're just getting additional money and payments from you and paying finance charges and getting additional money based off of your ignorance. And that's why I tell you, I teach, I love to teach. It's not for people think it's publicity or attention, or I just want people. No, this is stuff we need to know. Schools should be teaching this. It should be taught somewhere, but it's not. It's not going to be taught. I'm not saying I'm the only one teaching it, but I'm doing my part. This is something I'm passionate about. I love it. And I hate to see us being mind fucked because we don't have the right information. So this is why I teach. So that is a property all the time. That is something that should come into play that you should always ask. I'm not going to say this won't work. I won't rule it out. But you're not going to be able to call into like customer service where you pay your bill at on either your car or your house and start telling this shit like, yo, the notice is so-and-so and the blah, blah, so-and-so. I done did that until I turned blue in the face. That is not where you're going to get remedy at. Most cases, and this is the scariest thing ever, and you think you're going to hire an attorney, that's not going to work. But you have to learn to litigate yourself, and this is what you want to come in with. Thank you. This is what you want to come in with. These type of questions, the things that I'm asking you. Bring in the buyer purchaser's order, which shows that the vehicle is paid in full. Because that's the one thing they never talked about right there. They just talked about you breached contract. You said you owed this amount and you would pay this amount, dollar amount per month for 60, 40 months or whatever. CFO, that could work. I've tried that too. And on some people's posts, I might come in and drop a little evidence too. But this was hilarious. I've tried that a few different times. I tried certified mail, return receipt requested. Sometimes I did get a letter back. Sometimes they took a little long and then a letter finally came. There was another occasion that I sent it registered mail because I've been listening to people for years, Yusuf L, Jonah Bay. Those are most of the ones I remember following, coming into this information. And they were like, you send it to the CFO and this is his job to discharge. He has an oath and a bond and blah, 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 blah. And make sure you send the registered mail to his attendant. I did that. Wasn't getting nowhere. So I got a little slick with it. This wasn't nothing that I learned. Someone taught me. It just made sense. I went, got registered mail. When you send registered mail, you can declare the value of it. You can declare the value of it and insure it for that amount. So I combine a bunch of process here. I want you to listen to this. So the statement that you get every month is a bond. On the bottom of the bond is a coupon. It's a detachable coupon. That if you look at it, it has account and routing number right on the bottom of it. I'm not sure. That might be assist, but I'm not teaching that route right now. I just want to stick with what I've done and what I know. So I took that, I filled it out because it has a box and it says, how much are you paying? And I put it for the full amount of the car. You usually can call in, or if you have an online account, you can get a payoff letter, a payoff quote, and it'll tell you the exact amount. And it'll tell you what date that quote is good to. So I took that number and I put it inside the box right there. So how much you paying? I put the full amount and I put paid in full on it. You might want to add the words without recourse. And then I did the same thing with a postal money order, because I use a postal money order because you can track it. Once it's been cashed, you can track it and you will get an image of the front and back of it. So with all the endorsements and everything. And I put the money order for the amount of my car note for that month, for 1 month. And then on it, I put full accord and satisfaction. Another time I did it, I ran it, I lined up my computer, the printer, where I can print it right on that money order. And I put verbiage, if you accept, if you cash this or deposit, you consider to accept my terms and conditions, which is full settlement of the account. And man, they got hot. I took that and sent it in and declared, like I said, the value of the coupon that I put in, which was like $27,000 or something. And so they said, how much insurance do you want? And I told them. So I want you to know, usually registered mail back then was like $11, I think, for the fee. And then you pay the postage and whatever. So by the time I declared the amount that I wanted, it came up to like $53, the postage for that, with the full insurance for the $27,000. I sent that to him, and I'm waiting. I'm hoping something good is going to happen. Guess what happened? So a lot of people will look at this the wrong way. They will laugh at me and be like, it didn't work. But failing to see the power in it. When I sent that to him, to the CFO, and me and him had a couple exchanges back and forth. We would be writing in letters, or he would get the in-house counsel, he would call it. But a lot of times they're lying. You should put their bar number or their name. They just say in-house counsel. So they took my letter where they opened it up, they read it and whatever, and then responded with a letter to it and put my envelope, the money order and the coupon that I sent them, basically everything, the letter and everything that was in it, and put all of that back inside another envelope and mailed it to me. And I think they had to send it certified mail, and they wanted to make sure that I got it and they had proof that I got it. They boxed all that shit up and sent it back to me. So again, like I said, you have so many people that are so focused on, it didn't work, or they just sent your shit back, peace. But failing to realize what I did must have been powerful. And like I said, nobody taught it to me. That was just me putting a bunch of processes together. He sent that shit back like within 4 days, like quick, fast. And he was like, we do not accept your offer, and like going off on me. And that was something that I always remember, and I laughed at it. There's power there. So there was another thing I wanted to go with the insurance. Trying to think. Oh yeah, when you get pulled over, and again, you're complying with it because you're thinking, okay, under this whole scheme of everything, I'm driving this vehicle, I must be insured. I have to have insurance. So when the cop is asking me for insurance, that's why he's asking. He just wants to make sure that I got insurance in case if I hit somebody or somebody hits me or whatever. Because first of all, that officer is engaged in security fraud. He is issuing securities right out of his fucking vehicle on that laptop with that printer. When they come print that little piece of paper and come walking back towards you with it and give it to you, and here's your court date and you can pay this amount. He just issued a security. So the reason why he's getting your insurance information is because he's backing up that citation with insurance. So even when you don't pay or you default, they're already getting paid on one side, and then they get you to pay on the front side too. So they're getting money double or triple. Because from one thing I also heard is that they take those citations and they can make 3 copies of it, or maybe more, I don't know, but I thought it was 3 copies of that one citation and sell each one of them. Each one will be securitized. So they're making money hand off a fist. The thing that I found out later that they do, and I didn't know that, they work in conjunction with their local district court, and all of their tickets and even accounts. When you file a divorce action, a child custody action, a name change, you catch a charge, any of those things, I don't know if it's at the end of the month or how it goes, but they're sent over, they're bundled. They're pooled and bundled, just like securities are. Securities or mortgages are pooled and bundled. Car loans, pooled and bundled. School loans, same thing, pooled and bundled. And they're sent over to the district court. And then the district court pools them and sells them. And this shit blew my mind how this shit actually fucking works. And it's a business. It's literally a business. When you walk in there and you take a number, just like you do at the grocery store, when you're buying cold cuts and you're trying to get your shit cut, and you take a number until they call your number. And when you get up there, they say, "How may I help you?" Same fucking thing they say at the clerk's office. When you walk in there and your number gets called and you walk up to the desk, "Hey, all right, here's your number. Okay, what can I do for you?" They're offering a service. They're selling a service. It's not about court. It's not about crime. It's not about none of that. All crimes are commercial. Period. So when you look in there and like you look up there, you try to find your name on the board and you see all them damn names. They getting paid, man. All them people as customers, they about to get serviced. Like service the hell out of it. And service, if you look it up, it actually means when you service a livestock. When they take the big glove that comes up to their shoulder and stick it all in, that's called serviced. So yeah, you're definitely getting service. But yeah, that's why he wants proof of insurance. So, and the other thing is, people don't know that, is that your driver's license, and before you ask the question, I'm going to go ahead and hit the brakes on your question. Most of you are going to ask me, well, how do we use it to buy stuff? I don't know. I don't have that. So I'm going to tell you something now, but I already told you the disclaimer. Please don't ask me how do we use it to buy and purchase stuff. I know they know how, so I'm going to put you in on it. Your driver's license, because of all the documents that you bought down there to get that one thing, you had to bring 6 points down there to get that one instrument. that has a barcode on the back of it. It has a scannable barcode. Just like when you're in the grocery store and you're buying something and you give it to the cashier and the cashier scans it. Has a barcode, right? So about to just show you something. All right, turn it around real quick. Barcode, right? It's got the barcode. In that barcode is a bunch of data. And as we know, data is valuable information. Data can be sold. So in there, it's called, when I looked it up in the Social Security, I guess their POMS, which is, I forgot what it is, official manual, official manual. Biometrics has to do with where you were born, your nationality, your race, Social Security number, all this stuff is all embedded in there. And as you know, the Social Security number is a insurance policy, which is tied to securities and tied to trust funds. There's 4 trust funds in the Social Security fund. So when you have all that embedded in there, and it's all in that barcode, because even your birth certificate has a barcode. So that again has more biometric information embedded in that barcode. You can literally scan it just like they do with your car when you open your car door, and they scan the side of it, and they can just pull up all your maintenance records of when you've had an oil change or serviced or whatever that stuff. It's the same way. So in essence, it's almost like there you go. Thank you, sis. So it's almost like we ourselves have barcodes. I don't know if you ever seen, like, I think it was a movie, or they show images sometimes with us with like a barcode on our arm or something like that. So in a sense, but you have to separate the two. Of course, we're blood, flesh, we're human, we're in the living, and that birth certificate represents the dead. But they're basically saying in essence, all right, they're scanning you because you believe that is you. And so you're the agent for you, the representative for that business, but we're not operating in a proper capacity. So anyone who's getting your driver's license is getting commercial information for you with the intent to create securities and sell securities. So when that officer's saying license, registration, and insurance, as I was talking to you, I was trying to figure out why does he want the registration. I don't know if that's to be part of the whole act, or is there something that's doing on there too? But I would think it would have to be getting money again, because there's a policy number, or not a policy number, but there's a registration number on your thing. Whenever you have any of those are accounts. Those are account numbers. So he's getting your driver's license, that's tied in, it has money in it. And then he's getting your insurance, which is backing up everything that you do. So it's paying for everything. It's already paying for everything. Them dragging you into court and getting money from you, or them saying, hey, just pay this through the mail and send in this amount. It's total bullshit. They're already getting paid right there when they scan that shit. Same thing with the car. And it's funny because they have you thinking when you purchase a vehicle, of course I got to show up my driver's license. I'm buying a car. Peace. What's up, Skills? I'm buying a car. So you just comply and like, all right, boom, yeah, I want that car. Here's my license. Not knowing that license is going to pay for your purchase. It always does. Trying to think of other scenarios where you go and they want to see your license. Trying to think, which is weird too, because sometimes when you're using a credit card, they want to see ID. And most times you'll see them, you hand it to the cashier and they start punching in your numbers, because not them, but probably the store, and then the store sells their information, does securities too. So they get all that information embedded in there from that transaction. But you have to understand what insurance is and why it's important, and to start getting more insurance yourself. Like if you hear, what's her name, Tina Turner had her legs insured. Beyonce had her legs insured. Like, you can damn near insure any fucking thing. Anything. There's something called title insurance. So you can insure the title on your vehicle. Trying to think of some other insurances that you might not be aware of. All right, like if you buy wheels and rims, right? Because now they have where you can buy them and pay them on payment plan. You can insure those rims. Most times the same thing they call it is a warranty. So warranty, I have to look it up, but I'm saying from how my understanding is that a warranty has to be insurance. Pretty much sounds like it. Same thing. Passport, the same thing, bro. Them numbers on there, the numbers are an account, and your passport does have a barcode on it. I don't have mine on me, but yeah, if you look at the book and you go to the back page, the blue, if you just turn it over backwards, not the side with the eagle facing up, the other side, open that back page and right down at the bottom is a barcode, and it can get scanned. And everything that you gave them when you applied for that passport is embedded in that barcode. So all those instruments are things, even your social security number. And it's been funny, like lately, I get the weirdest looks, so I get callbacks, or one time they shut my account down and a bunch of shit because the way I signed my social security card. And the people were telling me we're from the back office and we just have a few questions. I'm like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, why is my account closed? They were like, well, it's the way that you signed your card. And I'm like, okay, and like, what's wrong with the way I signed my card? So they were like, why did you sign it that way? Because it's facts, nigga. It's facts, my nigga. On my card, it says beneficiary. And then I put, next to my name, I put by my name, authorized representative. But that was before I learned a little more and I started looking at more contracts and doing litigation. So now what I would put is without recourse. Put by my name without recourse. And you'll know why if you look that up, or if you also look at your contract when you bought a vehicle. All vehicles are non-recourse contract transactions. Non-recourse means without liability, and it means that you can't be taken in court and harassed in any type of way to pay that amount. You are off the hook. You don't have to pay it. Non-recourse is very powerful. A lot of times you can do that on checks when you're paying for something or paying bills or anything, especially when it's a bad check. It's a bad check. I know people are scared, like I don't want to write a bad check, I don't want to bounce a check. But again, this is not legal advice for educational purpose. I'm not telling nobody to go out there and write bad checks. But if the check is not going to clear, you could write without recourse. And if somebody accepts it and they deposit and it doesn't go through, guess what? It went through. Because when you get an image of that check, the front of the check, and it sees by your signature, it says non-recourse, that's a wrap. It's a wrap. So again, we have to learn how to contract. That scripture that I like to use a lot. It's not because I'm religious, I'm not a Bible freak or none of that, but I just love the words. It's my people shall perish for lack of knowledge, and it is so true. We've been misled, deceived, and people don't like to use them strong words, but yeah, brainwashed, conditioned, indoctrinated, all those stuff. It's the truth. You can get mad and want to get in your feelings about it. All right, but what are you going to do after that? Are you ready to get this information, this knowledge, and change the way you move? Or you just want to get stuck on me, my face, and your hatred towards me because I told you the truth? That's pointless. You know what I mean? Let me tell you that you're a slave, we're a slave. They've enslaved all of us. We're indoctrinated. They brain fucked us. All that. All right. Deal with that. Go ahead and get mad, sulk it up, whatever. And then come back a day or two later and say, all right, bro, what we got to do now? What I need to be learning? That's it. I'm not out here trying to just drag y'all and be like, oh, man, y'all some brain dead motherfuckers, unless you want to stay brain dead, because after I did my part and I make you aware of what happened and what's going on with you and you don't want to change it, yeah, all right, I might have to roast you, drag you after that. Sometimes I'll keep dragging you until I can get you to wake the fuck up, which is very hard to do. And once you wake up, I got this information there for you. Because I've been on this path for a minute. So like I said, it's not a dead end. It's not like I'm putting a brick wall up and saying you're conditioned, you're indoctrinated, and that's it. Go over there and deal with it. I got you. So, like she said, No blank endorsements, restricted endorsement. Exactly. Protect yourself at all times and how you contract. And again, remember that you can insure anything yourself. And when you do it, you don't have to make someone else the interested party, which I like to say the beneficiary of that contract. Make yourself the beneficiary of the contract. And then even go a step further and assign beneficiaries to that contract. Because all things require you to have a beneficiary, and it's crazy that they don't tell you this when you open a bank account, unless it's in that banking agreement. And I haven't read all agreements, and they're pretty long and lengthy, and most of us just chuck it. Probably throw it out or roll weed up on it, whatever we do with it. But I'm quite sure it has to be in there. So you're supposed to be assigning beneficiaries to all accounts, to your job, to your bank, to your pension, to your 401k, to your IRA, anything that is an asset to you that you're going to receive payments from later, you should be assigning beneficiaries to. Better now than later. This is not something that you wait until something happens or you die in a wreck or get shot or drown or something. It's too late. We have to stop thinking in an immature capacity. Stop thinking and moving like adults. This is something that when you become cognizant of it, do it then. No prolonging it. Say, I'll get to it. I'll get around to it. Because I've heard too many stories where it just tugs on my heart. The shit fucks me up. Where, my mom died and she didn't leave a will and she didn't have this and she has property and we don't know who's going to get it and the state wants it and I don't know where to pay the taxes to. We have to move better. Everybody would just clown and crack on people if you didn't have life insurance. That's not the creme de la creme. That's not going to solve all your issues. It's just having life insurance. Because again, there needs to be a power of attorney in place so everything could be executed. If you pass on, all right, you already have a power of attorney assigned. You already have it. Take it down and get it recorded at the county. So that way, if the original is lost, a certified copy is just as good as the original. Same with the will. The will you want to get recorded. Take this down. Some places they said it's different. It depends on the county and the state. Because I was trying to advise people and they said, no, ours isn't in probate, it's in so-and-so. But you want to go and have a will drafted ASAP, immediately. There's no formal requirements for what is a will. A will can be written on toilet paper with a crown. So just to give you an example and an ideal, don't overthink it, get too technical, think you need to pay somebody to do it. It's your words and your will of how you want things to be done. And even most people have what is called like this might not be exactly what I'm trying to give you an understanding of what is a medical will. So it's if you become incapacitated, if something had to put you on a breathing machine or you're in a vegetative state or any of those things, you can still speak for yourself for what you want done. So I think that's a power of attorney. It's a type of power of attorney you can give because there's multiple kinds of power of attorneys. So this is something you want to think out and do now. Yeah, it's scary, but we get too religious and caught up in I don't want to talk about death. I don't want to wish that on myself. No, that's immature thinking. This has to be done. The sooner, the better. Just like, it might be petty shit, but like, yeah, your last check's coming or you got vacation pay and all this stuff and stocks in the company that are owed to you. Where do you think it goes if you don't allocate where it's supposed to go? That's your voice. Speak. Speak. You have a voice. Speak. Be mature. Be about your business. Handle your shit. Go into your job like as soon as possible. I know shit is closed, but go down to HR, assign some beneficiaries to your fucking money, man, to your accounts, to your pensions, to your all that stuff, whatever you got. Make sure that you assign it. And when you hear beneficiaries, I'm saying that they have a trust set up, but I'm trying to say to you, it doesn't mean that you have a trust. That's a beneficiary again, but you can do it another way. You can make the beneficiary. Excuse me, let me finish. All right, so you could assign beneficiary to different accounts, right? I just said that. So now I'm gonna take it a step further. And you can create a trust. And then when you go into your bank and they say, who's the beneficiary? Name the trust as the beneficiary. And then that trust has its own beneficiaries. Because a lot of things, you carry or transfer a benefit to a person whenever you put something in someone's name. And you always want to put it in the name of an entity, whether it be a LLC, a corporation, or a trust. Sometimes you can assign it to a LLC, which is owned by a trust, by using a what is called a operator's agreement. And that is just a piece of paper. It's nothing too technical. That is written out, and it shows what share or percentage of a company or corporation or its assets are owned by who. So this, I done went into a whole estate planning and everything. I done gave y'all some jewels, man. This is powerful heat. Hopefully it don't get censored and it's left up. But that's really what I wanted to get to, was just insurance, and letting you know what it is, and that you should always have insurance. And for the most part, it's pretty cheap. I learned that once I became a notary to get a bond, and I think I got a $5,000 bond, and I forgot how much it was. Probably, I don't know if it was like $90 something for 3 years, 4 years for the whole term of my commission. Then I had I did something else and got certified, and then the numbers went up. The amount that I had to be bonded for was higher, and again, it's like pennies on the dollar. So why aren't you insured, and why aren't you naming beneficiaries to those insurance policies? So that's real important, real powerful. Let's get on some grown people ish, you know what I mean? It's an immature way of thinking, and it seems like our culture is the only one that's like that, and intentionally, by design, so we can be exploited by everybody else. I'm telling you, them Jews be on their shit. You barely see Jews moving around. Might not see them working in like a grocery store, stocking shelves or some type of shit. They be on their shit. And the funny part is, I noticed this the other day, is why you don't see them as much. Dude was driving, he had his wife with him, and he just had on a white shirt, because they wear the white shirt with they wear the black suit, and they be wearing the most beat up, busted black shoes. They'd probably be like Sears shoes or some shit. Whereas us, we too concerned with, I can't let a motherfucker see me outside fucked up. They might think I fell off. While this Jew own and run and control everything. Yo, peep my words. See a Jew, the Hasidic Jews with the curly hair, or some of them just have the yarmulke on. Peep they black shoes. Them shits be fucked. I don't know if they fucking Gucci's or whatever, and they started out like that. But I know them shits is fucked. I've seen enough of them to know. I mean, some of them be fucked. While we worrying about the wrong shit. If a nigga gonna see me without the hottest Jordans that just dropped, he gonna think I fell off. Man, love yourself from the inside out. I don't give a fuck. Matter of fact, do it like this. Where we at? There we go, right there. And they got an oil stain right there for me when I changed my own oil for my car. You know what I mean? Look at that. It don't matter, man. You be too concerned with the wrong shit. The wrong shit. I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of Indians in the store. And matter of fact, I seen this on her doorstep. Now, this house was fucking amazing. Like a mansion. And they said leave the stuff on the porch, I go to leave the stuff on the porch. I see their shoes all outside the house. And she had some loafers. They were fucked. They were Gucci. They were fucked. But the house, my nigga, the house, you worrying about the wrong shit. She had them Gucci loafers outside the house. They were fucked. She's not reeing up on them Gucci loafers every time. Oh, shit. Damn. Stepped in some dirt. Let me go to the mall. And get me some more loafers. Come on, man. Says, what does that mean? What you mean, Mo? Oh, is it replying to Sharon? All right, what did Sharon say? Energy never dies. Yeah, that's the truth, bro. She spit it how she spit it. Because people say death like it's an ending, and we cry and we get upset and we get hurt. Man, our people never leave us. You're never going. But I think I dropped a mouthful on this, man. I got to get to some other shit. And I didn't mean to record this long. I'm not even sure. I can't even see how long I've been. Edit that when you can, Sharon. It's blank endorsement. Unless you put me up on something and you put in black endorsement. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you could just edit the first one if you like. No, not that part, bro. All right, where you at then? Because she all up the timeline. I can't see all the comments up. And I'll try to help you out real quick. Like I said, I'm about to get off this. I got some shit I got to do. Spit what you talking about that Sharon said, because I don't know what you're talking about. Corporations. No, not that part. All right, but what you got, Mo King? Come on, bro. Hit me. Blank endorsement. Okay, so you just type that there. Copy, paste that, or hit Google. Push the microphone right on the top left. Press that shit and say, what is blank endorsement? Come on, man. Get your own shit, bro. You know it. I keep telling people, man, these data plans too motherfucking expensive, man. I pay like $100 a month. Man, I'm going to work Siri ass out. Yeah, blank endorsement. Hit that. Go ahead and research that, bro. Get that. I see what you said. You wrote the first time. You said blank endorsement. She said black by accident. She didn't mean that. Blank endorsement. Go ahead and get on that. So I'm going to get up out of here. No doubt, Frank. Appreciate you, bro. And let me know. For those who watch this later after the live is over, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Peace.